Today, the African Ambassadors Economic Forum, held July 18-20 at the Westin Crystal City in Washington, D.C., has officially concluded. Under the theme Unifying African Leaders to Advance U.S.-Africa Relations under Agenda 2063, this historic gathering brought together African heads of missions, diaspora innovators, U.S. policymakers, and global investors for 3 days of lively dialogue and action.
Hi everybody, we are here at the African Ambassadors Economic Forum with President of San Martin, Louis Mussington. How are you doing this evening?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here.
It's been the highlight of your day so far, given all the panels that we've heard and all the wonderful people you've spoken to.
The keynote address that I delivered this morning, because I came with a clear message, and that is to say that I'm so much interested in connecting back to Africa, understanding that we are one African people, even though in the school books they try to teach us that our history began with the slave trade. But no, more and more we're coming to understand that it's a big lie, and that we are the builders of civilization. We were first. God created us first, and we civilized the rest of the world. And that is so important for our young people in particular, in the diaspora, but also in Africa, to understand that Africa is a cradle of civilization. And with that understanding, it will give us that energy, that understanding that we can turn things around and assume our rightful place on God's earth.
We now been officially welcomed to this great event. So to do us the honor, I'd like to invite Dr. Ambassador Utchay Odims, who is a visionary leader, respected diplomat, global life coach, president of the Global Initiative for the Advancement of Africa, where he is renowned for championing youth empowerment and building platforms that connect. So please, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Dr. Utchay and Dr. Odims.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. If you're excited like the way I'm excited, you shouldn't be saying good morning like that. If you are excited that something big is about to happen, I want to see you say good morning. That's not loud enough. In fact, as a matter of fact, if you love Africa and you believe in this continent and you believe that this is going to mark a new dawn for Africa and we are headed for the Africa we want, can you celebrate Africa by standing up on your feet and jamming those hands together to celebrate this continent? You are not clapping well. You better clap now. Something good is about to happen. Africa is rising. Talk to your neighbor and tell your neighbor, Africa is rising. No, you know what I said. Anybody that's not saying it well does not mean well for Africa. Talk to your neighbor and tell your neighbor, Africa is rising. I said to talk to your neighbor, don't tell yourself. Tell the person outside, Africa is rising. Tell your neighbor, Africa is the best thing that has happened to all. Tell your neighbor, are you ready for the Africa we want? Because the Africa we want is here. Can we celebrate Africa once again, everybody? My name is Dr. Utchay Odims, and I'm the president of the Giaa, Global Initiative for the Advancement of Africa. And I'm super excited that today we are making this happen by the help of God. You know, for this program, we actually been planning this for quite a while to actually hold this event. The reason why we're having this event is purely because of the need for us to understand the importance of this season. We are in our season. You know, one of the worst things that can happen to anybody, for instance, you can actually take a narrative of a child. If a child does not know that he or she is no longer a child, and at the age of, how many of you, if somebody is taking feeding bottle at the age of 16 or 17, you will actually be the one to spank the person? Can anybody condone that? A child taking feeding bottle at the age of 17? Is it possible? What will you do? You say, hey, are you okay? Are you all right? That is it. You know why we're having this program? We're having this program because it's time that Africa should stop using feeding bottle. We need to grow. That's the truth. We need to grow. If America can do it, They wake up in the morning, they say, God bless America. If America can do it, Africa can do it. Can I tell you something? Africa built Europe. The resources from Africa built Europe. How many of you are aware of that? The resources from Africa has helped a lot of nations. In fact, Africa has contributed immensely in America. We can't keep taking the back seat because of some stuff or whatever. Why we're having this program in America is because we love America. We are proud of what America is doing, but we want a situation whereby we all will be proud of Africa in a couple of years to come from now. If you love Africa, celebrate Africa once again. I can't hear that round of applause. The reason why we're having this program is this. Over the years, we noticed that our season has come. And we looked at it critically. We were like, what are the key things that we need to actually bring about the Africa that we want? And we actually pinpointed, there are three major things that we need to fix in Africa. Three. All our problems in Africa is around these three things. And what are they? Number one, leadership. Leadership. If you concur, can I see your hands up in the air? Leadership. Leadership. Now, leadership is a very critical problem because everything rises and falls on leadership. No matter what you want to do, everything rises and falls on leadership. And our leaders in Africa need to get it right. Need to get it right. Because it's time. It's time. And guess what? If any leader don't want to get it right and whatever, there's a tsunami, a wave that is coming. In fact, that started. You'll be blown away. So I know a lot of people, presidents and all, are going to watch this program. It's time for you to sit up. You can't keep your citizens impoverished when we have a lot, we have wealth, we have plenty. Africa is the Garden of Eden. Most of you read the Bible. For those of us that are Christians and all, you hear about the Garden of Eden. Africa is the Garden of Eden. We have it in Africa. Everything we need is there. But leadership is a very big problem. But guess what? If you're a leader watching this right now, you can make adjustment. You can. You can repent today to help your citizens. Enough of the corruption. Enough of the suffering. Enough of the lack. We have a lot of people running away, passing through Libya, dying on a daily basis, trying to hustle. Listen to me. Africa should be respected. I hear about the visa stuff. I mean, people don't want, everybody wants to travel to America. America, they were not like this in 17 something, 18 something. They all came together and said, you know what, let's build America. And that's why you want to come here. And that's why you want to live here. We need to wake up because Africa time has come. Now, that's number one. Number two, very important. One of the major problems in Africa is economy. Economy. We are saying this. If you want to do business with Africa from Europe, US, Asia and all, don't just do trade. Now, when I talk about trade, I'm talking about what happens in Africa is that people sell mineral resources like that. Just sell your oil, sell your cocoa. I don't know. Do what they call value-added trade. What do I mean by that? Partner with Africa to build industries. Yeah, you can put your hands together for that, yeah. Partner with Africa to build industry. Don't rip off Africa. Build industries in Africa. Build and create employment in Africa because Africa needs employment. Partner with Africa to grow. Make your money, we make our money. That's number two. And the third major thing, reason why we're having this program, is what they call unity in diversity. We need to come together. All our African American brothers, now listen to me, you can't be more American than the Americans themselves. That's the truth. Now let me say something. We were talking to somebody, my brother is laughing out there, beautiful. Now, we were actually talking to somebody in Texas, and I asked him, I said, where are you from? He said, I'm from Texas. And I told him, I said, very well, the guy. I said, you are not from Texas. You are an African. Why am I saying that? You meet somebody in America, the person is an Indian, you ask, who are you? My name is, I don't know, maybe my name is Hackett. And the person will say, I'm an American, but I'm Indian. You meet somebody from Germany, I am from America, but I am from Germany. Israel, I'm an Israelite. Come on, man. All our brothers and sisters in America that are from the black community, understand something, your roots is Africa. You need to come back to Africa. Your continent is wealthy. We are wealthy. We are the ones that run the show. We rule the world with our wealth. Now, all the intelligence and all the wisdom that God has given to you now in America and wherever you are, you need to use it to help develop our continent. How many of you agree with me right now? If you are here, you are an African American, lift up your hand and say, I'm African. Oh, I can see a lot of our brothers. Please lift up your hands if you're worshiping God. Oh, Mama Patricia, I can see you there. Wave your hand and say, I'm African. Everybody say, I'm African. We want everybody to connect back to their roots. And with that, we are going to have the Africa we want. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Africa. It's time for Africa. It's time for Africa. It's time for Africa. And it's time for Africa. Thank you very much.
This economic forum held at the heart of Washington, D.C. has created a platform for high-level discussion, partnerships, and collaboration. The discussion is simple: to improve the lot of Africans in Africa and beyond the continent, and of course to better the economic landscape of the continent.
But I'm excited. I'm very, very excited at what's happening right now. With all the people that made it happen and all, that's really very, very interesting.
This is Africa's decade, and this is Prince George's decade. And in fact, I'm going to say it's Africa's century. Yeah. The newest, they said the youngest population of workers are in Africa, and it's Africa's time. Trade, not aid, and we are all about that, and that's why we're bringing businesses to connect so that they can make a difference.
And we need the connection of bridging the gap, and I want to look to all of you to say we need to work with all of you. Many of you do businesses in Prince George's County, and this is a new decade, and hopefully 20, 30 years from now, we're on the ground here. We will see Africa in its height, and we will see our African diaspora, our people that are here living the generational wealth and the American dream that they have.
It's time for Africa to begin to stop imagining a great Africa or a greater Africa, but to begin to work towards making it come to fruition. It's not all word and no say. Let's do. Let's do more do than talk more talk.
The event saw participation from African ambassadors, policymakers, and experts who shared insight on driving growth and development.
You see, Africa is the upcoming continent. We have the change from the monopolar world into the multipolar, and Africa is the center of this development.
Yeah, we have one of the highest African American populations, but there's a limited number of those who are looking to Africa for business, and that's what we're trying to change that mindset. I would propose that it be about how Africa exits a very toxic space of aid, where it understands its own power to negotiate deals that benefit its people, that are in the interest of its own people.
I think confidence is very much linked to self-respect, and I think it's really important that African countries, officials, ambassadors, whoever is representing the continent needs to have a sense of respect for self, for their countries, because if you don't have it, don't expect others to extend it.
Keynote speakers emphasized the importance of regional communities in promoting economic integration and cooperation.
If you don't believe in yourself, nobody's going to believe in you. So for the African Union and every other agency that projects Africa, we need to love ourselves, find ourselves, know who we are, understand that we actually have a voice, so we will be able to develop.
We are ready, we are open, we are waiting for you. African brothers and sisters, let's work together and let us shape the future of the new world.
Together, we can do good. Africa is on the move, and New York City is right by its side.
Africa is very, very open for business, and we want to incentivize the public and sensitize them on the fact that Africa is really, really open for business. And that is one of the things that we want to, showcase to the world.
Beyond talks, participants have expressed optimism about the potential for meaningful collaborations and initiatives to drive Africa's economic growth and development.
Us peak areas, we were really hurt by a hurricane in 2017. A lot of our tourism hotels were destroyed. So we are looking for investors to help us rebuild those tourism hotel infrastructure, and we are in the process right now of looking at a port expansion. So we are looking at finding investors who will co-create with us in that area.
We must be deliberate in ensuring that the continent is able to trade with itself. So we're breaking the walls. And how do we break the walls? We're talking about investment, really huge investment. That's why we're deliberate in galvanizing the resources within the diaspora.
There's need to harness your skills, your experiences here,
that you have gathered over the years to take it back home. And what is important is that if you take these skills back home, especially in real estate, in startups, in tourism, and the rest of them, I think it will make Africa a better place. And that you are empowering an average African. And for me, that is important because it will stop irregular migration. It will make Africans come to Europe and Africa with dignity. We have a lot of diaspora communities, for example, in the United States of America, who are doing extremely well in different fields. We need to harness their talents. We need to harness their experiences in order for them to give back home. We don't need to have everybody back home coming in here, but we can take skills, we can take experiences in tourism, in real estate, in startups back home to empower people, not just to create jobs, but also to create wealth. In doing so also, that will stop irregular migration. We want to empower Nigerians, we want to empower Africans, young Africans, to start something that they'll be proud of.
And we have so many Africans that are in Prince George's County. In fact, about 40 to 45% of our businesses are African owned. So it is really important for us to continue to grow that relationship because we see benefits on both sides.
I do believe that the West especially has an obligation, a moral obligation, to cure a lot of the ills that they set forth during the colonial period.
Well, my thoughts about Africa is it's so unknown to most Americans. We didn't study it in our school books. We didn't study it in the history classes. I've been to Abuja many, many times. I've been to Lagos many times and different places through Africa. I represent an oil company here in the U.S. And so it's a joy to collaborate and expand our working efforts in Africa.
For the Council of Africa, Africa is now. No matter where you're from, if you are a black child, Africa is now. Russia celebrates Africa. America celebrates Africa. China celebrates Africa. India celebrates Africa. Why not you? It's your home. Africa's now. Take charge, take control. And for our seniors, it's time to pass the baton. I think we've done a great job. We have established and we have built the foundation. But sustainability never happens unless we have a good transfer. And let's get in a room with our youth and talk to them, talk with them, explain what has happened then and what is not to happen again. We can't give Africa away for free.
Africa, when we talk about Latin America, there's so many great opportunities there. Africa doesn't know that. So we have to inform them of what we have in the diaspora. It's not just about talking about it, we need action.
That's why we have to tell our stories so that our people understand who we are. We are Africans, we're kings, we're leaders, we are incredibly talented people, we're rich people, we're diverse people, we are resilient, we have something that is special about us. So once we tell those stories and we share that story about the continent, then our young people will not feel inferior to anybody, will not fear anybody, will not worry about anybody. They will compete on a level playing ground with the rest of the world, and they're likely to outshine them. And that's what we want to do.
We know that there's no system that works by itself. And the problem I know I have experienced one-on-one trying to establish a business in Nigeria, a pharmacy to be precise, is the red tape, the risk involved and all those stuff. So I'm here today to discuss with other people how we can collaborate and prepare ourselves to create an ecosystem where everybody benefits, both our people in the diaspora and our people back home.
As the forum concludes, organizers underscore its role in solidifying a cohesive African diplomatic bloc in Washington, working in tandem with investors and diaspora leaders to accelerate sustainable growth, peace, and prosperity across the continent.